It's exactly because they're strong that matches turn out like that. So I think it can't be helped. And on the contrary, if someone says their reputation is dropping because of it, they really don't know what they're talking about. Kurebero Koike is such a jiu-jitsu fighter that he doesn't resist going to the bottom, right? That's why he ends up on the bottom pretty easily. Kurebero's tackles often end up with him on top. First of all, it's like a 7-to-3 ratio. We're stronger on this side. I wonder if Ren Hiromoto will actually take the fight.
I'm closely following the Flyweight tournament.
I hope Uchikuba Iwa wins. If he reaches the top, he might win it all. But with voting, I'm not sure that'll happen.
Welcome to KakuroCast. This is Shin. Today, I'd like to look back on Choi Aray's match and Super RIZIN. Thank you. It's been a while, hasn't it? Was it before a match? Anyway, I watched Super RIZIN on pay-per-view. I'd like your thoughts on Asakura versus Kleber Koike. I watched live too, and thought Kleber won as soon as it ended. So when I said Kleber won, right? Assassin was kind of... He just came rushing over like a storm.
I'm pretty sure Mikuru Asakura didn't really land anything either, and honestly, he didn't really do anything, right? Kleber was the one who worked hard.
Kleber didn't succeed much either.
Yeah, regularly. Well, yeah. I feel like I have to choose one or the other, but which one should it be?
That's why it was the split, right? Yeah, but I kind of thought it was a close fight. If you had to choose, it would be Kleber, right? Mainly because he was active and making moves.
Well, at the venue or something, probably, you know. Seiji said to watch at the venue, but the Mikuru Asakura support was overwhelming. It was a bit much. That kind of atmosphere at the venue might have something to do with it, right? I don't really know, though.
Yeah, but, well, it does have an influence. The judges are human, too, after all. Honestly, looking back, I think a draw was fair. That's how I feel. Asakura Mikuru's takedown defense was key. The match is on YouTube if you'd like to watch it. Ray, since you're strong in grappling and ground techniques, I hope to hear your commentary. Is that okay? Thanks. Seiji, did you watch it too?
I watched it.
How was it? Was it boring? Was it interesting?
No, it was amazing. The cheering was incredible.
Oh, did you watch it at the live venue?
It was incredible at the venue. No matter what I did, even just throwing a jab, the crowd went wild.
Yes.
It was amazing, but there was hardly any cheering for Kleber. Oh, but the support for Mikuru Asakura was insane.
Well, I guess that's how it is, right?
Kleber Koike is just too focused on jiu-jitsu. Yeah, there's really no resistance to going to the bottom, so he ends up there easily. Instead of takedown defense, it's more like Mikuru Asakura. He uses the underhook, likely because Kleber Koike's tackles are high. That's why Mikuru Asakura gets that underhook so easily. Do you know what an underhook is? When someone brings their elbow in, you use this underhook. Most wrestlers do. With it, it's tough to tackle, but Kleber's tackles are high, so it's different. So it's easy to get the underhook in, and that's why he's able to control him pretty well with it, yeah.
Seiji-kun, this is perfect. Can you try it for me? Thanks, and sorry for asking. Is this okay? Can you do it this way?
Kleber's tackle couldn't be helped. He's not a wrestler. If he were, for example, they usually go in low, and even if they grab a single leg, they manage well. Approaching this way often puts you on top. You usually clutch above the hips, causing you to slide up. With your hips in, your arm can easily get wrapped. In wrestling, if your arm is wrapped like this, the opponent on that side is typically stronger. It's about a 70-30 split, with this side much stronger. If it gets in, it becomes key to defense. That's why Kleber does it this way. If you go in low and get your arm in, it's harder to wrap your arm and it doesn't go deep. But going in high wraps the arm deeper, making takedowns harder. That's likely what's happening. So, for me, I would go for a pretty low tackle, just shooting low. It's fine to lift up from here. And I always try to get in without letting my arm get caught. But if your arm does get caught high like this, even just swinging it a bit makes it easy for your opponent to move. Even if your opponent gets a perfect tackle, if your arm is in the way, it's hard for them to get in. So I felt like this arm wrap is actually pretty effective.
I see, that's how you block it all.
Yeah, that's right.
From Kleber's side, he doesn't wrestle or use his legs much.
Yeah, that's right. So, speaking more in wrestling terms, you're absolutely told not to clutch with your butt, but to go in more with the back of your knee. You're always told to do that, so I think maybe it would have been better to go for a tackle like that.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Both my legs would go in like this, then everything would go up, and I'd get tired just using my arms. I'd end up on all fours, get kicked, separated, and even if I went back in, I'd end up on top again. It kept repeating.
Yes, yes.
Well, instead of going in like that, maybe if I'd gone in with a low double leg or something like that, it might have worked better.
Yes, yes. So the question is, why doesn't Kleber use those kinds of tackles?
He's not a wrestler, so that makes sense. In Jiu-Jitsu, going to the ground is normal, and tackles aren't as common. But if you look at someone like Merab, you can see it. He grabs firmly around the legs like this and lifts them up, right? Even with those tackles, when it's here, it's just, I don't know, you know? If it's right by the ropes, it's pretty tough. Here, it's easy to get back up, you know? I figured grabbing lower, under the hips, is better.
I see. Is that pretty basic in wrestling?
Yeah, in wrestling, they always tell you to go for the back of the knee. Your hand to the back of the knee. In mixed martial arts, going under the butt for a clutch is fine, but going above makes it hard to generate power. The forearm is stronger in this position.
I see. Thank you, Seiji-kun. Sorry, and thank you. It's really easy to understand. He's been teaching wrestling in the kids' class for a long time, so his way of teaching is really easy to understand.
Yes, I teach kids. I've done it since I was 3.
You've been doing it since you were 3 years old. Does that mean jiu-jitsu athletes rarely use wrestling tackles?
Yeah, that's right. Basically, really, when it comes to people who are really good at jiu-jitsu, they actually prefer to be on the bottom. So after pulling guard, there are more people who feel more comfortable being on the bottom. Yeah, so when it comes to just tackles, wrestlers are definitely better at takedowns. Well, Kleber probably feels comfortable with that usual pattern of taking the back, but once you get an underhook in, it's hard to take the back. Yeah, it's not that easy, and I think it takes a lot of strength too.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe something like a low single leg takedown if you can do it well. I feel like if you remember those kinds of moves, you could probably get takedowns pretty easily. Well, that's just what I think from watching, but yeah, that's just my opinion.
Is that a main point, like using leverage?
Yeah, exactly. Even when tackled in mixed martial arts, I don't fully stop it. I use my arm to control them some and then break away. So yeah, that's pretty important.
When you look at Mikuru Asakura's takedown defense, what about against someone like Karimov? Yeah, how do you think that would go? Do you think he could stop him pretty well? Looking at Mirai Asakura's takedown defense, what about against Karimov? Yeah, how do you think that would go? Do you think he could stop him pretty well?
No, I think Karimov's tackles are probably just too much. I don't think it's possible to stop them.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, well, I don't really know what kind of tackles he'll come in with. Kureburu tends to use one leg. You know, he rotates his hips a lot and tries to take the back too often. Yeah, like, if it was someone like Karimofu, I think he'd probably go for a more solid takedown, but I'm not really sure.
The way he goes for tackles is different.
Yeah, that's right.
So does that mean Shidorev is also that kind of wrestler type?
Yeah, that's right. Shidorev is a wrestler too. I won't know until we face each other, but he's probably studying me as well. Since Mikuru Asakura studied Kleber's patterns, I think that's how he handled it, though I'm not sure.
That's right. Up until now, even when Kleber was on the bottom, there have been a lot of matches where he still managed to win, right? This time, there were moments when he was on the bottom, but Mikuru Asakura was able to get back up right away. If you ask why that happened, I think it's because he studied and prepared for it.
Luck is also a factor. Even in the fight against Chihiro Suzuki, he couldn't finish it, right? At first, he was able to go for the finish aggressively, but as the fight went on, his moves got figured out. That kind of thing just happens, doesn't it? So I think that's just the way it is. Everyone studies and prepares.
That's right. You always have to keep learning new techniques.
Yeah.
Do jiu-jitsu athletes not usually practice wrestling?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, really good jiu-jitsu athletes who are good at ground techniques don't really go for takedowns, so they end up striking instead.
Yeah.
Well, I do it, though.
When I ask, why don't you practice? Like, it's a broad question, but isn't it better to approach things like that? Why don't you do it?
But I think it's hard to start as an adult. Yeah, we've been wrestling since high school or even junior high. A lot of people come to mixed martial arts from there, right? Like with wrestling, Even Rintoya Nakamura started wrestling when he was little, so it's something that's already ingrained in their bodies. So to suddenly start that as an adult, they've tackled thousands of times, many times a day. Yeah, it's probably tough, right? Your ears can get messed up too, so if you have the courage, you'll get stronger. Even kickboxers could improve a lot by doing it.
Yeah.
It's like telling a wrestler to start striking. Telling a grappler to suddenly start shooting for takedowns is probably the same thing, you know? Even if you tell them to do it all of a sudden, it's not that easy. They have their own style they've been using up until now, so they probably don't want to break that either.
I see, yeah.
So, well, I think it's difficult, though.
I see. Regarding Mikuru Asakura, the main question is his next opponent. With a title match against Shaduraev coming up and Shaduraev likely to win, Asakura could face Shaduraev, Karamov, or wait for Ren Hiramoto. So he has 3 options.
Still, since he's fought so often lately, I wonder if Ren Hiramoto will take another match.
It would be great if they did it on New Year's Eve. Mr. Hiramoto said fighting Mikuru Asakura in his comeback match likely won't happen, so it'll probably be next year.
That's still a long way off.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, in that case, I'd want to get back at someone like Karamov, so I'd probably go for it.
Do you think you go for it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying I want to do it, but actually, who knows? Honestly, because I can't win.
Yeah, that match is tough.
Yeah, I wonder who he'll face.
So wouldn't someone like Yaman be good?
Yaman. True. Yeah, that's true. He did lose to him that time.
Yeah, with a kick.
Yeah, that's true.
It's actually pretty easy to promote, and Yaman is surprisingly strong, isn't he? Yeah?
Yeah, it might actually be interesting to go up against Yaman.
Yeah, it's interesting.
He's even beaten Mr. Kane Hera.
Yeah, that was unexpected for me. He seemed to run out of stamina, but still defended himself until round 3.
And yeah, if it's Yaman, he definitely has punching power, and he's also pretty good at takedowns.
If he gets stopped, that's the question. Can he be stopped? I wonder.
Interesting. Amazing.
It's an interesting match. Yeah, personally, I think that's the best.
Yes, that's true.
A match with Hiramoto next year would be exciting, but I hope he doesn't lose like Karamov. Mikuru Asakura.
That's true.
So going into the match against Hiramoto with this winning streak is definitely the most exciting. Karamov and Shaduraev. Honestly, I don't want them to fight.
Karamov and Shaduraev are dangerous.
Yeah, that's right. Ideally, Shaduraev has just 2 matches left. That's what people are saying about his contract online. He'll fight Kolesnik and win, then he'll fight Karamov and win. There's a vacant featherweight belt, right? But with Kolesnik and Karamov losing, they're out for now. So Mikuru Asakura could be picked for the vacant title match. If I were the promoter or Asakura's manager, that's what I'd do.
Does that mean Shaduraev is going to the UFC?
I think so. If he's that strong, he'll go to the UFC, right?
Yeah, he'll go for sure, definitely.
I don't think he's the type to stay in RIZIN.
Yeah, if he doesn't go, it'd be weird, like he's missing out.
And if he stays in RIZIN, people will wonder what he's even doing. So ideally, that's the best outcome for everyone.
Then who would he fight, I wonder? Maybe Karamov or someone like that.
No, that's why Karamov can't lose to Shaduraev. If he does, then people will say, wait a minute, right? He just lost. And there are 2 strong guys who just challenged for the title and lost. So if Mikuru Asakura, who beat Suzuki and is a former champion level fighter, challenges, it totally makes sense. I mean, we don't know who the opponent will be, but still.
I see.
That's the plan I came up with.
Yeah, that sounds likely.
It does seem that way, right? Yeah, exactly. But then, the question is, who do you spend New Year's Eve with, after all?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So please put the opponent you want to see in the comments, everyone. That's the idea. I'm actually paying a lot of attention to the Flyweight tournament. On the other hand, is there any match that left the biggest impression on you?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I was honestly surprised that Yuki Ito won. I mean, it was unexpected, and he even got close to a near finish. Well, maybe he's just really strong in actual matches, you know? Was it a good matchup? Oh, yeah, it was really good. Honestly, I was surprised. I thought Zulu would come up. No, to be honest, that's what I was thinking.
I thought so too. Representative Tsuruya predicted Yuki Ito would win, which was surprising. But Zulu excelled in the first round.
Yeah, that's right.
He said that a punch hit his eye and he couldn't see, so he kept going for takedowns. I think that's what he said. So I thought that if what happened in the first round kept going, I would probably win with my striking, right? That's what I was thinking. But, well, things like that happen. It's only one match, but I wondered why he kept trying takedowns.
Now that you mention it, he suddenly went for a lot of takedowns.
So that's why, because he couldn't see out of one eye. But the punch that landed, it was Yuki Ito who landed it, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And Shinryu too, you know, somehow...
Well, but still, you know, he's really good at that, isn't he? Shinryu too, he's really good at finishing from there, so when he gets a tackle in, you can kind of tell he's aiming for that. So I feel like I really have to be careful about that.
Yeah.
He got the tackle in pretty easily, so it looked like he finished it without much trouble. But if it were me, I don't think I'd get caught in a crossguard that straightforwardly.
Yeah. But isn't it hard to finish a guillotine?
Well, I guess it depends. Skilled people are just really good at it. Even in practice, I finish with a guillotine about 70% of the time, so skilled people can do it. At first, it's tough to finish, but once you learn, it's the easiest. You just use it when someone goes for a tackle.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I see. Shenron was really good at making decisions. And then there's Gajamatov. He's really strong too.
He's strong.
Yeah, he's strong.
He's kind of big, and he gives off this wild vibe, you know?
You know, he was getting a little tired, but even then he adjusted his fighting style and managed to get a knockout in the 3rd round. That's really impressive.
That's amazing. I think Mr. Ujikubo could win.
Yeah, that's right. A match against Shinryu would be interesting, and Matoya would be interesting too.
I'd like to see that a little.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yes.
But, well, I can totally imagine Ogi-chan winning in his own way, easily.
I want Ogi Kubo-san to win. Well, rather than just wanting him to win, I think if he just moves up as usual, he'll probably win. He seems likely to take the championship. When I say that there's a vote going around on Twitter and stuff, it feels a bit...
It makes me feel uneasy.
I wonder if it's going to be okay.
He probably thought, if I can beat Torres, the strongest, then I can do it, right?
I think it's only natural that the match turned out that way because he's so strong.
No, but wasn't the Torres match interesting?
It was interesting. Anyone saying his reputation dropped doesn't know what they're talking about.
There wasn't a dull moment, was there?
It was just really interesting, and honestly, he was really good. There were so many parts where I thought, wow, he's really skilled, and I learned a lot from it. In that match, when the takedown and tackle failed in the 1st round, he used a leg hook to bring him down.
Yeah.
I thought he was really skilled, and with that, he pretty much got all the takedowns right, so I thought, as expected, he's really something.
Torres was strong too, you know. He kept getting back up.
Yeah.
What do you think about how he gets back up? Is it skill or just strength?
Well, his body looks strong too, but still, even so, Osaki Kubo-san must get tired from taking him down over and over. That's what made it interesting though. Torres getting back up like that, but it's tough, you know.
Ah, yes.
It's really tough to get back up after being knocked down even once, right? So for me, that part was actually pretty interesting.
It felt like a high-level mixed martial arts match.
Yeah, it was on a high level.
It was interesting though, but it was Matoya and Hiroya fighting. Yeah, that's right. Well, it wasn't quite what I expected, you know?
I expected Motoya-san to finish, but Hiroya also did well.
He really did his best.
Yeah, I felt Hiroya lacked strong weapons. He'd just go for a punch rush sometimes.
Yeah.
That's about it. Well, I thought he didn't really have any strong weapons. As for Motoya-san, I'm not sure either, since he just dropped down to the flyweight class. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I'm curious about what's next.
I see.
I don't think it's hit me yet, even though we likely did it with Bandam in our systems.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of interesting too, isn't it?
So, Rei-kun, how would you pair them for this 2nd round? Who should face whom?
Shinryu and Gajamatov sound interesting.
That does sound interesting.
I want to see how Shinryu fights. He could face Ugikubo-san immediately, but among top contenders, I think it's either Gajamatov or Ugikubo-san. Yes, I think pairing Shinryu with Motoya-san or Ugikubo-san would be interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't they do it before in the Bandam system?
That's right.
Trying it in the flyweight division also seems interesting.
Yes.
If Shinryu reaches the finals, fighting Shinryu is fine. A rematch could be interesting. Otherwise, it could be Ugikubo-san versus Gajamatov or Motoya-san versus Shinryu. That's probably how I'd pair them.
Motoya versus Shinryu and Gajamatov versus Ugikubo would both be exciting.
Well, Yuki Ito's just my personal pick, though.
Yeah, that's true, when it comes down to it.
No, Yuki Ito, but that's what I want to see, right?
Yeah.
Yuki Ito is amazing, but still.
He'll put on a good match, but I honestly can't see him beating those 4. I know that sounds harsh, so what's the point of teaming up? That's what I wonder.
Yeah, that's right. So, he had good chemistry with Zulu. Well, it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors. He worked well with Zulu, but when it comes to those 4, I can kind of already imagine how it would go, you know?
If I had to choose, I'd want Hiroki Ito to face Motoya.
Ah, that's true.
It feels like he might actually be able to win.
Motoya-san could make it interesting, even versus Shinryu.
We've already seen it once.
With Okukubo-san, I can already see how it would go in the future. As for Gajamatov, well...
With Gajamatov, it would be a real clash.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, maybe it would be good to just trade punches, but he's also going to go for takedowns.
That's right.
So, well, yeah, that's kind of how I feel, but, well, Motoya-san...
I kind of think there's a strong sense of competition, but that's just my opinion. Motoya and Hiroki Ito and...
It's true. His punches are definitely good, and he's got power. He might be able to land some effective shots. It does seem interesting, for sure.
So, in the end, it's going to be decided by voting.
Yeah, that's right.
If Ukikubo-san loses, I wonder how he'll react.
Maybe the four could choose the champion, and then Ukikubo-san, who lost the first title match, would be next in line?
Yeah, so if Ukikubo-san loses, I think the prize money and the belt for this tournament should be off the table.
Is there prize money?
It's a 20 million yen prize plus a championship belt. If not, and the winner faces Ukikubo-san for the title and prize money, it makes sense, right?
Well, that's true. If the prize is 20 million yen for the winner, then of course everyone would want to do their best to enter.
Yeah, and also becoming the champion. Once you become the champion, you're a RIZIN champion for life, right? So I wonder if that's really okay. I mean, if we're talking about who's the strongest, sorry to say, but everyone already knows that Mr. Ujikubo is the strongest.
That's true, that's true.
And if I say he's a bit above the rest, maybe that's not the best way to put it, but he's just stronger than everyone else. If we can't have a heated match, and the goal is to leave this guy out, what's the point of the tournament? I think the matches would be boring, so saying you're out seems odd to me.
That's true.
I don't know, it's possible.
The four people I mentioned earlier are the most likely, or rather, the most interesting, I guess. Well, as a regular martial arts fan, I think it would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what happens. This voting system was Akimoto versus Okada, though. Well, just like everyone imagined, it ended pretty quickly. But with Hagiwara, after all that back and forth, they'll probably end up fighting, right?
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's an interesting match, but of course there are a lot of different opinions.
Well, I think it's interesting, isn't it?
Right?
Yeah, Hagiwara needs to do his best too. He's been winning lately, but there was a time when he was losing a bit, so if he doesn't do his best here, you know, it wouldn't be good. Well, or maybe whether he can surpass Kiyomi Akamoto, or rather, if he can surpass him.
If he wins, that'd be great, right?
He's popular too, isn't he? Yeah, if they go head-to-head with their striking, it would be interesting, right?
If it's just striking, it'd be a great match, but I'm curious how the grappling would go.
Yeah, that's true. Takagi Ryo finished him, after all. Yeah. I wonder, what do you think?
I see. But isn't that interesting too? Ota Shinobu and Kyuma-kun.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, what happened with that? It became quite a topic. I heard it was decided once, but then got cancelled.
Well, it was way too sudden, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and also, because of that, it may look like he ran away, but he didn't. Usually, the hurt person is blamed, but isn't Doubt Beck really at fault here? Even so, since RIZIN really wanted to have Kiyomi Akamoto appear, they had no choice but to look for someone. So, I feel like Okada also did well to accept the fight. Normally, it's expected that someone wouldn't accept, so I'm just grateful that he did.
Yeah, that's right. I don't really get it, but as a fighter, you want to try at least once. In the end, I think he just couldn't do it.
Well, you know, mentally, it's totally different between someone who's pushing themselves for a fight and someone who's in a period without any matches, right?
Yeah, that's true.
If you suddenly start moving like this without having practiced at all, you never know, something might happen. There's a chance you could get injured, or maybe you'll feel pain somewhere you didn't expect. Well, you won't know until you actually try it. You have to move at least once to find out.
Yeah.
Your weighting class also matters, so it's more interesting when both agree on the right terms.
That's right. I'd like to see that match happen someday. The promotion is pretty much already set up too.
Yeah.
What do you think? You've practiced with Kyoma-kun and Shinota, right? How do you see that matchup?
Well, but I think it'll be interesting, you know? In fact, maybe it's even more interesting because they're from the same gym, right?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to see how much Kiyomi has improved, you know? It's been about a year, so I don't really know.
Yeah, that's right.
He's performed on big stages and is in the best shape of his life. That's often when you're at your strongest, right? On the other hand.
Yeah, it gives you confidence.
So, I really don't know. I have no idea what kind of match it's going to be.
Yeah, in terms of the matchup, I think we'll mesh well. It's pretty clear what we both want to do, huh? Do you think matches between people from the same gym are interesting? I think they happen fairly often, don't they?
Oh, you mean that? Exactly.
From your own gym?
I don't really like going to the same gym, but I could if I had to. I'd rather not, though. I think everyone feels that way.
Yes.
Well, it's interesting for people watching, right? Or maybe I should say entertaining. Even though we always do it in practice, I wonder what it's like in an actual match. It's so rare that it hardly ever happens, so in that sense, it's interesting, I guess. But honestly, I think it's better not to do it, since we're teammates.
Yeah, that's true. Like former teammates, or for example, Shinryu.
Well, things like that, I mean, isn't it fine?
Is it okay if former teammates played each other? Could you handle it easily?
With a former teammate?
Yes. Oh, I mean, with someone from the same team.
With someone from the same team now? Well, but still. If it were Tyra-kun, since we're on the same team, I think it's understandable in the UFC. But unless we both advance in a regular tournament, I don't want to fight him. It also depends on our relationship.
Yeah, if I have to, I don't think it would affect my performance.
Yeah, that's right, but if it happens, I might do it. I mean, I can do it, but it's not like I want to, or rather, if I don't have to, I won't.
But if you ask me if I can do it, I can. That's how you feel. As for Super RIZIN, there weren't really any other notable matches, right? Nomura-san won, that's about it. Ah, that was impressive, wasn't it? Yeah, he'll probably fight Souza eventually.
Oh, he might do it.
Maybe. Do you think he could win?
Well, but Souza Satoshi is really strong. He finished Musayev right away, after all. As long as he avoids strikes, it's definitely possible. Even in round 1.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he could finish it in the first round.
That's possible, isn't it? Souza can strike too, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, that sounds interesting, doesn't it? Fukuda, Naoki Inoue. People say Naoki Inoue is really good.
Yeah, he was really good.
I want to see him fight Sabatero.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too.
I really like Sabatero.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It's interesting, isn't it?
They're interesting and have character. Next, Shuku Satu.
Yeah, that's right. Let's do it.
Well, that does sound interesting too.
Yeah, interesting. Thoughts on the match?
Sabatello, well, he can wrestle and he can also strike pretty normally. He's a top fighter, so I'm curious how Shoko Sato will do. It might be a close fight, and Sabatello could win by a narrow decision. That's just my impression, though. I'm not sure.
Shoko Sato's fights are interesting, but I don't want him to lose to Sabatello. Isn't it better to have a foreign heel involved?
Yeah, if he loses, momentum could drop.
It would come to an end. So, in that sense, I kind of want him to win.
Satsushoko is strong too, so he could definitely beat him.
I see. That's something to look forward to. I really like Fukuda. I liked Inoue Naoki a lot too, so it's a bit complicated, but Fukuda has a great vibe.
It would be interesting to see Fukuda face Ota Shinobu since both beat Ushiku, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Both have beaten Ashizawa, so seeing them face off could be interesting.
I see. That's a good suggestion. It's a good matchup, right?
So, if Shinobu wins, he'll get closer to the title, and last time...
Few can stop Ota Shinobu's tackles, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's amazing. But that's exactly why Sabatero, since he does wrestling, it was a bit hard for him, wasn't it? So, when you think about it, Sabatero is actually pretty strong.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, compatibility really does matter, though.
That's true. And also, you know, that thing is huge, isn't it? I'm impressed you can pull it off. Like, I actually became quite a fan of Ando after that.
Oh, Ando-san is incredible. I first met Ando-san in Las Vegas before my title match, and we've trained together since.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, we've become close, and Ando-san is truly impressive.
Hey, that knockout too.
That was electrifying.
It was a knockout scene worthy of a highlight reel. Also, well, like Fukuda too, I really like fighters with this kind of vibe.
It's cool, isn't it?
They're kind of cool. How should I explain it? They have their own worldview, you know? They're not trying to act cool at all, but they're just naturally cool. Well, they're kind of like Yamamoto Kid, right? I actually like them quite a bit, so I want to keep watching them in the future.
That's true.
The heavyweight tournament, I thought, wow, this is amazing.
In the heavyweight tournament, Japanese fighters seemed unbeatable. Even when Iri Prohaska became champion, that feeling remained.
Yes.
Doesn't it seem different now?
If the match is boring, no one wants to rewatch it, and having no Japanese fighters is a promoter's nightmare, right?
That's why, even if it was hard, having 8 Japanese heavyweights would have been better.
Ah, yes, yes.
That's why I think deciding who the strongest Japanese is would have been better.
That's true.
You don't really want to see that many foreigners in the heavyweight division, right? Like, if it was flyweight, it might be interesting, but even if you bring in foreigners for heavyweight, it just doesn't feel right, so I think it would have been fine to just force it and have 8 Japanese fighters.
Like Japanese fighters from DEEP and such. Well, there are some, you know...
But if you look, there are probably about 8 of them, right?
you could gather them too.
So would it have been more interesting if we did it that way?
Well, if you think about the attention, yeah, that's true.
It might have been interesting if a foreigner fought for the title at the end.
Yes.
I was wondering if it would be okay.
No, that's not okay.
Yeah, that's bad.
It got crazy, so I guess that's just how it is.
Yeah.
That's how it is. So I think it'll be in the next video, but we'll be talking about Reiken's match, the UFC Flyweight division, Taira's match, and Asakura Kai's match. So everyone, please look forward to that video as well. And so you don't miss it, smash that subscribe button on the channel. Also smash that like button too. See you soon. Let's meet again. Bye-bye.